Acoustic Influence was an album that was recorded in 2008, but it was an album that was years in the making. This was my second project, my second solo project to do, and it was recorded solely at the GSD Studios at Gospel Song Design here in Pontotoc, Mississippi. And it was a little different than any of the other recordings that I had done because all of my other recordings was either Southern Gospel or Country Gospel or something like that. But this one was actually recorded as a way to praise God and uplift God, but also as a way to offer a tribute and some appreciation for those people that had influenced my musical abilities in the past. And that's why it's called Acoustic Influences. It's a journey through all the different styles that I have picked up on over the years. You hear some country, some blues, some bluegrass, some southern, a little rock. You hear a 50s flavor in some of the songs. So you kind of hear all of it. And that was the purpose of the album, was to do that. And of course, we had a real good success with it. We never released any of the songs from it. It was just, like I said, an appreciation thing. But we have to do a lot of the songs now that we recorded on the album. So there are a lot of requested songs on here. So there will be an Acoustic Influence Part 2. We're already working on it. But we had a good time recording it, and it's been a blessing to us to hear the people that have enjoyed it. And we just thank God for it.
When I think about independent musicians, my mind goes back home to Mississippi.
I walked 3 miles from over there over yonder Sam McDaniel place over there.
The first song on the album is called Homemade Music, and there's no way I would have been able to record this album without including this song because this was written about a man by the name of William Self, who was probably at least 70% of the influence in my life. He was a street musician, what you would call a street musician from Pontotoc County, and all he had was an acoustic guitar. Never had a band. He didn't need a band, though. He could just play so well to where he played the rhythm and the lead and everything together, and he sang, and that greatly influenced me more than he ever knew. I interviewed him one time for a documentary film I made, but even I think when I was interviewing him, I still don't think he realized how much he influenced me. Because my music doesn't sound exactly like his, but the only reason why I don't is because I couldn't get what he was trying to, a lot of licks he would do. I got close to him, but I could never get the actual lick, and that's why it's called influence, because I never was able to copy him, but I was able to be influenced by it anyway. And we did a video strictly in Pontotoc County, had a lot of response from the video, but had people all across the country sending me messages because we put it on the internet that had lived in Pontotoc County, and said how nice it was to see footage of the park and the court square, and how they remembered him. It was amazing how many people, more people liked the idea and remembered William himself more than they liked the song. And I thought that was great, though, you know. And we had a good time.
Well, I went in a convenience store to get something to drink. As I neared the cash register, I heard someone sing. A family that prays, and that's the kind of thing that stays with a man like me, because that's the kind of man that I want to be. He was making homemade music for the Lord, singing those glad tidings when we reached the other shore. Never had a band, he never claimed earthly rewards. He's just making homemade music for the Lord. Well, you could always find him in a park bench on the square, strumming and a-singing, don't forget the family prayer. He always came to church with a guitar in his hand, making homemade music with a band. He was making homemade music for the Lord, singing those glad tidings when we reached the other shore. He never had a band, he never claimed earthly rewards. He's just making homemade music for the Lord. homemade music for the Lord, singing those glad tidings when we reach the other shore. He's never had a band, he never claimed earthly rewards. He's just making homemade music for the Lord. He never had a band, he never claimed earthly rewards. He's just making homemade music for the Lord. And he's still making homemade music for the Lord.
All You've Done is a song that was given to me a few years back. I was in my mid-20s. I was working at a frame shop, and I distinctly remember I was kind of complaining about my life, complaining about how things wasn't going my way. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but in the book of Psalms, a lot of times David would start out a psalm with complaining, and God would prick his heart, and he would end up praising God. He would start out with complaining, but he would end the psalm up with thanking God and praising God. And that's basically what happened in that song. Is I was complaining one day, and then he just said, "But haven't I been good to you?" And I was like, "Yes, Lord, you've been so good to me." And so the song starts out talking about how bad life is, but then it ends up saying, "Lord, I want to thank you for all you've done for me." And we had a lot of response from the song. And the video we did, I was going to Black Zion Pentecostal Church at the time, and my wife was in the video, and we did it there at the church, and she actually played the part of a widow who had lost her husband. And wasn't sure if that would translate in the video, but we have a lot of response from it that says it did, and they got the picture, they got an idea of how we did a scene where she was praying and I was beside her singing, but then I disappeared, and I think they said that really kind of brought the point out. But anyway, it was a fun song, it was a fun video to do, and a very meaningful song. I never released it, but I actually had several different promoters wanting to release the song. But I never did, and I still may one day. But that was All You've Done. That was all it was about, was just thanking God for all he had done for me. Walking through this lonesome valley, trying hard to figure out what it all means. And there you are, sitting high upon the mountain, looking down, looking out after me. But here I am, still complaining about my sorrow, how that life is causing me so much pain. Oh, but there you are, nail-scarred hands are wrapped around me, saying, "Child, everything will be okay." So I just gotta say, Lord, I want to thank you for all you've done for me, for all those times that you've lifted me up when I just could not see. And Lord, I want to thank you for keeping me safe and sound
You know, when we walk through this life as Christians, we sometimes think about things and we begin to complain. We say, oh, we know everyone has it rough, but no one is going through just what we're going through, that we're somehow unique and our problems are somehow worse. But friend, I'm here to tell you, if you're a child of the King, it don't matter what you're going through, that He's seen 100,000 times before. If you'll just hold on to Him with all you have, He'll see you through it just like He did so many others before. And Lord, I want to thank You for all You've done for me, for all those times that You've lifted me up when I just could not see. And Lord, I want to thank You for keeping me safe and sound when the whole wide world was crumbling down. Well, when the whole world was crumbling down, was crumbling down. Well, there's a city that looks o'er the valley of death, and His glory has never been told, where the Lamb is the light in the mist of the night, in that beautiful city of gold, where the sun never sets and the leaves, they never fade, and the righteous forever will shine like the stars in that beautiful city of gold. Well, there will be no more sorrow, pain, sickness, or death, and the saints, they will never grow old. How I long for that city where there never comes a night, in that beautiful city of gold, where the sun never sets and the leaves, they never fade, and the righteous forever will shine like the stars in that beautiful city of gold. Where the sun never sets and the leaves, they never fade, and the righteous forever will shine like the stars in that beautiful city of gold. Yes, in that beautiful city of gold.
Face to Face is a song that I really enjoyed recording, and this was the first time I recorded it, but I actually recorded it again on the Faith, Grace, and Joy album, and we changed the name of it to Just One Time. So this song actually was released to the radio, but it was released in a totally different way. It sounded totally different. We added drums and bass and lead guitar and all that kind of stuff, or electric guitar. And in the acoustic version, it's just acoustic guitar and bass, and have some licks in there with another acoustic guitar. But it was just basically saying, somebody had asked me one time if I'd write a song about what it would be like to meet Jesus face to face, and that's where the song came from. And the video we did there at the house, and we found a road, walking down a road, and basically we just kind of put stuff together to make the video. This is like the second or third video I'd ever recorded. So we just playing around with technique, and we were still learning how to record videos and produce videos when we did it. But we had a lot of fun doing it.
Well, Peter walked with Jesus tell him I'm so thankful for his amazing grace. I'd ask him all the questions that's always on my mind. I'd love to hear the answers if I could see him just one time. Well, I read it in the Bible that one day I will see Jesus face to face. Oh, what a time that's sure to be. And I don't know, but I do believe I'll sit down at his feet. And like old Peter long ago, I'll hear his words so sweet. If I could sit down with the master just one time face to face, I'd tell him I'm so thankful for his amazing grace. I'd ask him all the questions that's always on my mind. I'd love to hear the answer if I could see him just one time. One day I'll sit down with the master, I'll see him face to face. I'll tell him I'm so thankful for his amazing grace. I'll ask him all the questions that's always on my mind. I would love to hear the answers when I see his great divine. When I see his great divine. When I see his great divine.
The voicemail song, man, I tell you, that's a song that it's funny in two ways. I mean, it was written to be a comical song. I wrote it around the idea that cell phones are so hard to understand. I had a cell phone, I couldn't figure out how to check my voicemail and all that kind of stuff. We had radio stations that was playing that song. It was never released to radio, but we had some stations that we had just given our CDs to, you know, and they was playing that song a lot. And it was good in one way, but another way it was bad because we had songs that we had released that we was trying to push and promote and get them to play, and they didn't like those. They wouldn't play them, but they would play this one, you know. And because it made a point, it was comical, but it made a point. And we didn't do a video for it. I wanted to, but we didn't. We just did a performance in the studio here at the TV station. But it was a fun song, and I think you'll get why people liked it.
Hello, how are you doing? I'm sorry I'm not home. If you leave your name and number, I'll call you back for long. That is, of course, unless you are a bill collecting dude. And if you are, don't waste your time, 'cause I ain't a-calling you. And if you're selling something, I think you ought to know that I ain't got no money, at least none to blow. Well, I take that back, as a matter of fact. There's something that I'd like a lot. Well, you know it's true, I sure could use a telemarketing block. All right, fellas, let's make it rain. Well, here's to all my friends, it's good to hear from you again. I ain't heard your voices in I don't know when. I know you probably think that I don't care what you have to tell, but the truth of the matter is, there ain't no doubt I can't figure out how to check this voicemail.
Eddie. This is Johnny down in Music Pro Music Store. We're calling to inform you that you just won the 1969 Fender Stratocaster. All you gotta do to claim your prize is call back within the next 10 minutes. Be sure and call back because after 10 minutes it goes to someone else.
Well, if you get this message, I hope that you can see that I'm cell phone illiterate, so please come and see me. And if I'm on your Christmas list, there's something that I'd really love. Well, I sure could use a new cell phone, maybe a jitterbug. Hey, and while we on the subject, what's the deal with text messaging? Man, you gotta hit all these buttons like 3 times just to get one letter.
The last song on the album is called Acoustic Influence. And what I tried to do is I tried to take every style that I had ever learned and picked up on and put it in one song. And to be honest with you, even though I liked the way the song turned out, I didn't get everything I wanted in it. But the song was so long, I had to cut it to make it not be so long. I think it was 6 minutes long, and I just had to cut some of it down. But we tried to go through all the different influences we could. We started out with one thing and went to another and went to another and went back and forth. And it was a fun little song to do. And it was called Acoustic Influence. But that's the album. It's called Acoustic Influence, so that's what we called that song. So I hope you enjoy it.
All right, here we go.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Acoustic Influence album today and behind the scenes and the making of it and all that. If you would like a copy of Acoustic Influence, or you would like us to record an album for you, or record a music video for you, or you would like to be a part of Country Gospel Celebration, just give us a call. Our information's on the screen. We'll get back with you and be glad to help you out there. Until next time, this is Eddie Gordon for Country Gospel Celebration saying, God bless you.